It's something that needs to be talked about. It's not just a surface level, feeling or thing. It's something that's been happening for centuries. Because you're labeled or they see you as being vulnerable, it's like you're an easy target. And when you talk about systemic racism and discrimination, it also plays into dehumanization and, and stereotypes. That issue, it's not just a day, it's something that has to be talked about every single day because there's women that go missing, there's women who have been murdered. Where does the woman sit as a woman to, step up and be who she is? I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and it is a hard thing as a woman to, get out of and heal from. Part of that movement was for, not only myself, but many others that have stepped forward to do that work and speak on behalf of those women. And the importance of that red dress is the color red. It's a power color. So those ones who've gone missing can, find their way back. As a loved one of missing or Indigenous women, my mother was one, so I can easily be able to, connect with those ones and their feelings. Because of residential school, she didn't grow up with the greatest environments, I guess I should say. I kind of caught up with her later. She lived on the streets for the last few years of her life. It led her to addiction. She passed March 20th of 2020, which was just the beginning of COVID-19. And her life was taken. And it was over something very small. When you lose a loved one and you don't get answers on how they, passed away, there's no closure in that. She advocated for Indigenous women, all the teachings that she shared with me. And, I'm very, very grateful that she was my mom. Pocahontas, that was the very first story of missing Indigenous women. That's the very first one. She was taken. Yeah, she was taken from her village. That was the real story of that. It was based on a real story, that movie. When I go into the schools, I always have an open heart. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Why not share with them that they are the light? They have their own light to guide them through whatever they're going through. So it's our job to make sure where that handprint came from, and a red handprint with blood, trying to cover our mouths and not, talk about it, right? For them wanting to, understand Red Dress Day and the importance of, of even where the red dress came from. When you're wearing the color red, it shows the spirits, it kind of to bring them in, to come back home. You can reach that one kid. It's just a beautiful thing for them to have that wonderment. Hi. You want to walk with me? Okay. Do you want to bang the drum? Yeah? Okay, you hold it like this. You hold it like that. There you go. There you go. Yep. Come to the front. There you go. Way to go. I'll hand over my drum and let them sing, because we want to empower our youth. We want to empower our children to know that they have a voice too. girl had fallen really, really sick. She was staying with her grandfather. Her grandparents were taking care of her. Her grandfather was really, really worried about her. The grandfather, he went out into the bush, he put his stem out, his tobacco, and he prayed for his granddaughter. He's like, Creator, what can I do to make my granddaughter better? I'm really worried about her. I want to make her feel better again. They brought him a vision and showed him 4 women dancing, and they were wearing different colored dresses, and they had like little cones. There's a spirit in that dress. So that dress came with healing, and it was able to help her. And all that sickness, she danced that sickness. It was all gone. It was all gone from her body. 3 years ago, I was gifted a red jingle dress. I thought, okay, this is another way that I can, share some of that awareness. It's just to show like who I am as Anishinaabe and, my cultural identity and my subtle way of spreading that awareness. So when I was gifted that red jingle dress, I saw it as my calling. And a calling to continue to doing that work and sharing the importance of it as just the jingle dress itself. It's healing. It's a healing dress. And for me to share some of those teachings with some of those children on Red Dress Day was, I felt like I was in the right place at the right time. And when I look at them and see their wonderment, it's almost healing for me because, I bring myself back to, their age. And it's all about that identity piece. It's that yearning for learning. So when I started my job at United Chiefs and Councils of noticing, and I was working with at-risk adults in the justice system. And one of those programs I wanted to put on was to make ribbon shirts and skirts for the women who were in the justice system and shirts for the men. And that's when I started to sew. And learning how to measure in my blood from my family, I find more peace when I am sewing. Not just learning, but healing at the same time, because you're focused on your project, you're focused on what you have to do. Practicing and doing all of this is, to me, it's my Anishinaabe life way. It's our life ways, and to me, incorporating language and culture and all of it, and preservation of all of this, whether it be regalia making or skirt making or shirt making. And it's quite inspiring when you come from a line of sewers and beaters. You see all the work that they've made, all the beauty in it. I want to keep this going and honor those wishes that our ancestors and our relatives have carried forth for us to pick up. Because I see all the young ones who are coming behind me, all my nieces and even my children, they see me, they watch me from even some of the videos I make, or even like the creations I've made, you know, like they all want to do it too. See all the videos that content creators would make in awareness and, you know, important topics that are underneath missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. It's inspired me to, you know, make my own videos. It all like really started with one video, what my res mom looked like when she was trying to get me to dance with her. Sharing that video and the song that I was dancing to and wearing like 80s getup. And that video, like, it blew up. You know, what a great way after that to kind of share a little bit about her story. And giving people, like, even like the status of her case and what happened. The most important part of it was the healing and the awareness pieces. What came from that was their own inspiration to do the same thing and tell those stories and share awareness and give voice to those who were silenced.
Only 2 of the calls for justice impacting First Nations have been fully implemented over the past 5 years.
May 5th marks the National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls.
This failure is not acceptable to our people.
Indigenous women and girls are 6 times more likely to be murdered than any other groups.
I had friends that were found in garbage cans and duffel bags and told that they were nothing.
Those are someone's sisters, brothers, aunties, uncles.
Given the extent of her injuries, Nina says to this day she still doesn't know what happened.
The red dress honors the memories of the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. It is dedicated to honoring the memory of these women. It is believed that when the color red is worn, it calls the spirits of these women to return home. It is a visual reminder of those women who are no longer with us. We honor them, we honor their spirit. They matter, she matters.
You know, Nina has worked really hard to support our community, and again, walks a life dedicated to our cultural lifeways and our ceremonial societies, steps forward to do the work as a community leader, and also holding it down and doing a fantastic job as a single mom. Let's have a round of applause here for my sister, Nina.
I thought it was really something when, you know, the Powwow committee of gathering at the Rapids, when the date changed from March to February 14th, you know, it happens to be on a recognized day for that recognition of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. So that day of action, I took it as like a day of movement with my role as SASA president and sitting on the Powwow committee. I proposed my idea for a red dress special. Without question, everyone on the Powwow committee, you know, accepted it.
As Anishinaabe men, you know, there is a responsibility to stand up and get behind strong women leadership, to raise awareness to this issue, and to not just talk about it one day of the year, but to continue in this work. And you know, as it was said yesterday, the goal is that we shouldn't have to have a day of significance for our missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls and Two-Spirit people. So I want to first say chimigwech to all of the community that has come forward to support Nina. All of Nina's relatives, her ceremonial family, Sasa. We want to put our good hearts, our good minds, our good thoughts into the center of our powwow arena with my sister here, Badasamo Sekwe. And of course, this beautiful special and this work that she continues to support. This has been an important part of her own healing and such a beautiful way to remember our relatives.
When I first walked into that building, it was for orientation. I mean, before I walked in, I took a glimpse of what I was walking into. And, you know, that's always something that we contemplate when we're starting something new. And for this, it was a residential school. And, you know, I think of my grandmother, I think of all the residential school survivors, and also my grandfather, what they went through while going to those schools. And when I think about the resilience that came after residential school, you know, I wanted to flip it and think about what can I do to, you know, move forward in a good way. Between four walls didn't seem like too ideal. I mean, the content was rich, it was good, it was all really good content, and here I am learning about who I am in a residential school. There's just like a weird feeling to that, and there was a couple times where I would get upset, you know, talking about my grandmother being, you know, forcibly taken at the age of 6 years old. And at the time when I was talking about that, I even like thought about my own son, because at the time when I talked about 6 years old, my son was 6 years old. So, and having that image in my head, like thinking of my own children being taken away like that, it's definitely hard, it's difficult.
Nina Sally Ann Toulouse, Bachelor of Arts General, combined major in Anishinaabe Studies and Anishinaabe-Moen.
It's a sense of like empowerment, you know, like you're making those moccasin tracks and for your own children so that they can witness that, bear witness of, you know, success that I made, like for them. It gives them hope that they can follow it in the same suit and make their own tracks. We didn't have a lot of people who like obtained their degree, because a lot of them stayed on the reserve. So like for me, it's a major accomplishment to, you know, show to the rest of, you know, my family, and it's just that sense of fulfillment and hope for the future. Just wearing my one pair of moccasins, so to dance across in my moccasins across that stage, I can't even explain the feeling. That's all, it just moved me to dance, really. And, you know, learning my language is a big, huge one for me, because, you know, once you start listening to the language and, you know, speaking it, there is healing in those words. I thought about her, and I thought about who I was doing it for, and I thought about what it would have meant to her to watch me dance across that stage.
The authority invested in me under the charter of Powwow University, and you're now no longer graduates, but you are graduates.
When I'm putting on that dress, I put myself in this state of who I'm dancing for. And, you know, I started off in a little ceremony for myself. And I smudge myself, I smudge my dress, I smudge all the articles that I'm going to be wearing while I'm dancing. And, you know, I'll set everything out first. I'll have everything in front of me, and I'll put each thing on one by one. And I'm just in the moment, and that connection, you know, with Mother Earth when I'm dancing. And, you know, the connection of those cones and healing and the rain and, you know, all those elements that go into the dance itself. It's just like a feeling I get when I dance. Like I know that she is there. Anishinaabe, it means good being. You know, the human being who walks with humility, respect, and truth. It means being connected to the land the water, the stars, and all our relations. It means we carry our ancestors in our spirit and we walk forward with their teachings in our hearts. Anishinaabe means we are the resistance to ensure to silence the colonial lies. We are the songs they tried to bury. We are the language they tried to take. We are the healing they never expected. To be Anishinaabe is to rise, to protect, to remember, to love.